Okay, so let me try to summarize our conference for last 4.5 days. And first of all, I must congratulate all of you for being here and being so participant and patient and attentive and involved for so many panels and keynotes. It is probably one of the longest conference we have done, or we probably have attended before. But I'm hoping that it was worthwhile. Let me recap a few slides that I shared with you in my opening remark, and then I will come back to our next steps. So this was my first slide when we opened this conference, who we are. So let's make sure we have all very well articulated mission of this SRII, which is to drive innovation for IT-enabled services all around the world. I want to make sure all of us have a very clear understanding of our mission, and it's very brief but very, very powerful. And I think you have heard from several leaders from major companies and major institutions who have participated over the last four days to reinforce their commitment, support for this organization and this cause. We have talked about what that service innovation means, are around driving innovation around these industry verticals, as well as horizontal. So all the panels, keynote, papers, research forums were structured around getting much more deeper insight in these areas. Again, look at the summary slide that we talked before. We had 15 keynote speakers. In fact, if you add these 2 video keynote that I've shared with you today, so we have a total of 17 keynote speakers. Again, a record for any conference, but this is not so much about a record. It's more about getting senior leaders, CEO and CTO and general managers of major company and institutes to come and share their support and endorsement for our cause, and they're going to support you in major initiative going forward. So that's a very, very important and very powerful mission, powerful support from these leaders, and that should be a big driver for our initiatives going forward. We had 8 panel sessions with more than 45 experts. And again, these experts are, experts in specific areas. And I will share some of the outcomes from those expert panel sessions. We had 30-some papers which we presented in multiple tracks. We had over 90 research forums that you saw posted around these posters in these 2 big halls. And then on 29th, we met with all our SIGs and chapters for one whole day to discuss a specific SIGs and chapter, their roadmap, their deliverables, and what they are working on, where they're going, and so on. We also talked about what are our key deliverables, because this is something I want all of you are leaders here. And this is something, this is a starting. We will continue to fine-tune this thing, but our goal here is to make these deliverables as specific, as clear, as relevant as possible around those innovation strategies, innovation focus areas we have defined. So first of all, we want to make this conference as the conference for driving innovation for IT-enabled services. And I think there was no doubt that we have proved that, and with the endorsement and support that we received from leaders from all around the world. And we'll continue to build on the momentum going forward, okay? Next one is around industry, academia, and government partnership for service research and innovation. And I think you have seen a lot of focus on industry and academia, and we brought some senior leaders from NSF, National Science Foundation, and after this conference, I'm flying to Washington, D.C. to meet with them and start developing the details of how this partnership will work, and I will share with you the specific roadmap as we go forward, okay? We will drive standards related to IT services. As you know, these pieces all connect, and there are a bunch of standards all around, requires a lot of coordination, a lot of alignment, and this organization is the most qualified, most competent to drive those standards. Lastly, around government policy regulation, we are a global economy, global organization. This is, again, a very unique organization to drive a lot of the policy regulation-related issues that many of you have discussed over the last 4 days. So again, remember those, our mission, our deliverables, and some of our action items that we are building to towards these deliverables. I am open to your ideas, inputs to how we can make these deliverables more specific. Are we missing something? Please, by all means, provide your feedback, okay? Now, let me summarize where do we go from here. SRII 6, we have built total of, you saw 8 SIGs presented. We have many more SIGs in the pipeline. They are under construction. We'll continue to build more and more SIGs. We'll continue to build alignment. But in terms of action item, here is what we will do. As you saw, we had panel session on almost all the SIGs that we have planned. We have several panel sessions, and those panel sessions were deliberately designed to address a specific SIGs we have built, from healthcare IT to cloud services to university research and to service engineering and so on. And you saw their ideas, inputs around those specific topics. I have asked all those leaders. We just didn't have time to complete all the detailed discussions around call to action, but I am working directly with those experts, 40, 50 of them, to provide feedback, what we call them call to action. What specific things we must do? SRII as a team. They know they were here, they saw who we are. Tell us what a specific action item we should own, short term as well as long term. No, not just think tank for the sake of think tank. This is a think tank with a purpose, with a specific deliverables, with timelines, okay? So we will have a bi-weekly SIG meeting. Ram and many of you are involved in SIGs, and we'll continue to have SIG meeting starting in 2 weeks from now. We'll give a couple of weeks of break because we have been here. We need some few days off. And we'll come back with call to action. Each SIG will review those call to action from those expert panel sessions and develop a specific plan of action in terms of key deliverables. Key deliverables also short term, what we will do within 2011 and beyond. So that is a very, very important action for us to drive. And as we have said before, SIGs are one of the major workhorse for SRII, where most of the activities and agenda will be driven, okay? Next one is SRII chapters. We have built chapters around the world. We'll continue to build more chapters. Chapters are focused on driving service innovation for specific countries and specific regions. Starting from today, we have been talking to leaders of the chapters. In the next 3 months, we are going to connect with all chapters we have built and revisit what we discussed here in the last 4 days, what is relevant to that chapter. We will do workshop, seminars, meeting, and I will personally participate in as many of them as possible around the world. Our goal here is to take all the learnings from here and start building the momentum as well as action plan for all those chapters, okay? Each chapter will do workshops and conferences and seminars, as you have seen from Manish's update from India chapter. India started conference. Now you see Vietnam and Thailand and Japan and all connecting to build an Asian chapter. So we will encourage and support them in driving these regional focuses in terms of conference and workshop. And you will have resources of the global leadership to provide you any support you need from us, okay? So again, within 3 months, we will work with each team to develop specific details by doing meetings and seminars at the chapter level. The next, which I just mentioned about industry, academia, government partnership, this is a major, major focus for us. And over the next 3 months, we are going to develop a very specific plan of action. We plan to have a partnership in the government and industry. Industry will put some resources, some seed money. We expect to get large funding from organizations like NSF and other organizations. And we work on 2 areas. What are the quote-unquote major research projects that we need to drive with the major universities? And then around the curriculums. Because as we have discussed before, curriculum needs to be revamped and updated. So we will develop those specific plan of action, working with that specific team, but around this industry, academia, and government partnership. Lastly, again, conference, as I said before, this becomes a global event. In the next few weeks, in 2 months, we will establish our program committee to develop specific details for the program for 2012. Around the program committee, I would encourage many of leaders from all around the world. I believe many of you have participated in the last program committee, but I will be more focused on soliciting people from other countries, many other countries, compared to what we had this year. So there will be a lot more international participation in the program committee and make sure the program is balanced in all these discussions that we have had. I believe we did a good job in terms of articulating our mission, getting endorsement from senior leaders from around the world, cover specific areas in broad, focus topics and papers and panels. But next year, we want to get more specific. We will further improve our conference processes in terms of number of days we do meetings and how we do. This is obviously our first meeting, and there is a lot of learning we got from here, and we will fine-tune some of the process and mechanics detail, but we want you all to participate and help. Now, to close this conference, I am very honored to have one of our senior board member here who participated from day 1 until day 4th, Dr. Alex Jelinsky, to come say a few words about his perspective and his experience on this conference. Alex?
You can see I'm already ready for the airport, so I got that unpacked. So thank you very much, Chris, and I think we really actually have to, first of all, I want to make sure we all thank Chris Singh and the organizers for organizing this excellent conference. Let's thank Chris. I think there's certainly SRII, there's a lot of, Chris has brought a lot of vision, energy, and most importantly is just amazing connections he's got to the IT community here, and what a stellar lineup of speakers and a fantastic program. I just think if only more people knew about what they saw here this week, it was tremendous. I certainly learnt a lot, and I was talking to other delegates how much they enjoyed the program. It was very intense, and you certainly made us work all week, Chris and the team, but certainly well organized. And these things, when we start new things, it's always a challenge how to find our way. So I think regarding the SRII, it's a learning organization. It really is. It's not about services and this is the way it's going to be. It has to learn. So feedback is going to be critical. So what are the lessons we're learning here as we organize these chapters and as we're organizing these special interest groups and even the conference? How can we do better? Because I know we have a sense of how we want to go, but I think we need to be adaptive and adapt back to feedback. It may not be possible to go as quickly as Chris wants to do things. It's great to have a leader who's so enthusiastic and is pushing everyone along, but some chapters will probably go faster than others, or some SIGs will go faster or slower. Maybe we'll have to have different ways of being organized and doing things differently. The conference format needs to be thought about also. It has to evolve. So I think this is a feedback we really do welcome. So please, not just to Chris, but other board members, please give your feedback about how we can do better and make SRI a better organization, have a better conference. And the most important thing I think I want to leave you with the message is you've got to get involved. Services is all about collaboration, and I call upon you to make a difference to SRII. I think this is an exciting new initiative that I think will go forward, and it's great to be at the beginning of these things. So I look forward to working with all of you in the future, and I hope to see you at next year's conference. So thank you very much.
This valley is called Silicon Valley, and it's famous all around the world. Our goal, and all of us connected, in next 3, 4, 5 years, by doing this conference here, we want to convert this Silicon Valley to Services Valley. Let's take this resolution and make this thing happen. Thank you all very much, and let's go enjoy the lunch. Take care.